If you have old coins from 2002, 2010, or 2015 sitting in a drawer somewhere, this video could literally change your financial situation today. Look at these simple 20-pence coins. They look ordinary, don't they? But collectors are paying up to $250 for specific coins from these exact years. And you might have one, two, or even all three hiding in your home right now. Today, I'm going to reveal a story that most people have completely missed. A story about 3 specific years of British currency that have quietly transformed from pocket change into collectors' gold mines. And here's the shocking part. Most people have thrown these away, spent them, or lost them without ever knowing their true value. I'm talking about coins that were in your wallet, your purse, your car's cup holder. Coins you used to buy newspapers, pay for parking, or got as change from the corner shop. Coins that seemed so ordinary, so insignificant, that you never gave them a second thought. But while you were spending them without a care, collectors were quietly searching for them. Auction houses were selling them for hundreds of dollars. And a select few people who knew what to look for were making serious money. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which years to look for, what makes them valuable, how to identify the perfect specimens, and most importantly, how to turn forgotten coins into serious money. So stick with me, because what you're about to learn could be worth hundreds of dollars that are sitting in your home right now. And I'm not exaggerating. We're talking about real money here. Real documented sales. Real collector demand that's only getting stronger with each passing year. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and let me take you on a journey through 3 remarkable years of British coinage. 3 years that changed everything for coin collectors. 3 years that could change everything for you. Let's start with our first treasure. The 2002 UK 20 pence. A coin that marks a pivotal moment in British coinage history. This small, 7-sided piece of metal carries a significance that most people never recognized. Yet for collectors around the world, the 2002 issue has become an unexpected treasure. Why 2002? What makes this year so special? Let me paint you a picture of what was happening in the world of currency during this critical time. The year 2002 represented a turning point in European monetary history. While the United Kingdom maintained its proud tradition of the pound sterling, the rest of Europe was undergoing the largest currency conversion in modern history, the introduction of the euro. This wasn't just background noise. This was a seismic shift that affected every mint, every central bank, and every coin production facility across the continent. The Royal Mint, Britain's historic coin producer, was watching these changes closely. They knew that British coinage needed to maintain, and even exceed, the quality standards being set across Europe. The pressure was on. The world was watching. And the Royal Mint responded with exceptional precision and care. The 20-pence coins from 2002 were struck during a period of heightened quality control, when every detail mattered, from the metal composition to the striking clarity of each piece. The technicians at the Royal Mint were operating at peak performance, ensuring that every coin that left the facility represented the very best of British craftsmanship. This particular year holds a special place in numismatic history. The Royal Mint was perfecting its methods, tightening standards, and ensuring that British coinage maintained its reputation for excellence during a time of monetary transition. They upgraded equipment, refined processes, and implemented quality checks that went beyond normal protocols. The result? A smaller number of premium quality coins emerged. Coins that today stand out sharply from ordinary circulation pieces. These weren't just coins. They were statements of British excellence, small metal ambassadors representing a nation's commitment to quality. Collectors admire the 2002 issue because it has a distinct sharpness in detail that's hard to replicate. Its 7-sided profile sits perfectly balanced, each edge meeting at precise angles that showcase the geometric brilliance of the design. The elegant crown Tudor rose stands in full relief, every petal defined, every detail crisp. And the lettering of its denomination displays a clarity that catches the light beautifully when the coin is properly preserved. The 2002 coins that survived in pristine condition show a level of craftsmanship that commands respect in the collector community. When you hold one of these coins in uncirculated condition, you can feel the difference. The edges are sharp enough to notice immediately. The surfaces are smooth and flawless. The strike is so perfect that every microscopic detail the designer intended is visible to the naked eye. But here's where the story gets interesting and profitable. As time passed, something remarkable happened. Surviving coins from 2002 in high-grade condition proved to be far fewer than anyone expected. And we're not talking about a small shortage. We're talking about a dramatic scarcity that caught even experienced collectors by surprise. Why did this happen? Several factors converged to create the perfect storm of rarity. First, the early 2000s saw heavy coin circulation in the United Kingdom. The economy was strong, retail was booming, and cash transactions were still the dominant form of payment. These 2002 coins weren't sitting idle. They were working hard, changing hands thousands of times, getting scratched, worn, and damaged through normal use. Second, this was before the digital payment revolution. People weren't thinking about preserving coins because credit cards and contactless payments weren't yet ubiquitous. Cash was king, and cash was disposable. Nobody imagined that a coin from 2002 would ever be worth more than its face value. Third, many of these coins were spent during the economic boom years and never made it into collections or storage. They entered circulation and stayed in circulation, getting progressively more worn until they were eventually retired by banks or lost entirely. The ones that remained sharp, clean, and well-preserved suddenly became rare, far rarer than the average collector ever anticipated. And when collectors started building complete 20-pence sets, they discovered something alarming. Finding a pristine 2002 was nearly impossible. The increased demand began quietly. A few sharp-eyed collectors noticed unusual price jumps for well-kept 2002 examples, especially those with strong edges and flawless surfaces. Word started spreading through collector forums, numismatic societies, and auction houses. Have you seen what 2002 20-pence coins are selling for? The market responded swiftly and decisively. Auctions began showing higher bids week after week. Enthusiasts started paying serious attention, reaching out to dealers, posting wanted ads, and competing for any quality examples that appeared on the market. And slowly but surely, this coin built a reputation that has only grown stronger year after year. One of the biggest reasons the 2002 20-pence gained value is because it became a key year for collectors completing full sets. When you're building a complete collection, certain years become bottlenecks. They're the pieces that are hardest to find in excellent condition. You can find every other year without much trouble, but when you get to 2002, the search becomes exponentially harder. The 2002 issue is exactly that kind of year. It's the coin that separates casual collectors from serious ones. It's the piece that determines whether you have an incomplete set or a museum-quality collection. And that kind of significance drives prices upward relentlessly. But let's talk about what everyone really wants to know: the money. The actual cash value that these coins are commanding in today's market. Pristine, uncirculated, sharply defined 2002 20-pence coins have reached impressive figures in private collector markets. We're not talking about theoretical values or wishful thinking. We're talking about documented sales, verified transactions, and real money changing hands. When a coin survives over 20 years without losing detail, without scratches, without the common wear of daily handling, collectors are willing to compete fiercely for it. They understand scarcity. They understand quality. And they're willing to pay premium prices to secure the best examples. Some private sales have pushed well over $120, depending on quality, luster, and professional grading. And for a coin originally worth just 20 pence, roughly 25 cents at the time, that's a striking leap in value that proves this is no collecting fad. This is serious numismatic demand backed by serious money. Perfect condition, professionally graded examples have even crossed the $180 mark in documented sales, proving that demand is very real and continues to grow. When a coin gets professionally graded by services like NGC or PeaceGS and comes back with a high grade, MS67, MS68, or the coveted MS69, the value multiplies exponentially. And here's what makes this even more exciting for you. The ceiling hasn't been reached yet. As more years pass, as more 2002 coins get damaged or lost, and as new collectors enter the market seeking to complete their sets, the upward pressure on prices continues. Early adopters who secured these coins 5 years ago have already seen significant appreciation. Imagine what the next 5 years will bring. The 2002 UK 20 pence is more than just a coin. It's a piece of transitional history, a symbol of British excellence during a time of European monetary change, and a tangible asset that has proven its ability to appreciate in value. But here's where things get even more interesting, because 2002 wasn't the only year that created collector excitement. In fact, just 8 years later, another remarkable coin year was about to emerge, one that would create its own wave of demand in the numismatic world. A year that would combine scarcity with historical significance in a way that made collectors sit up and take notice. If you thought the 2002 story was compelling, wait until you hear what happened in 2010, a year that brought its own unique story to British coinage. If 2002 was about transition and precision, then 2010 was about rarity and survival in the face of extraordinary circumstances. The 2010 UK 20 pence carries a different kind of appeal, one that makes it equally, if not more, desirable to serious collectors. To understand why 2010 is so significant, we need to understand the context in which these coins were produced and circulated. By 2010, the world was still reeling from the 2008 financial crisis, the worst economic downturn since the Great Depression. Banks had collapsed, stock markets had plummeted, and consumer confidence was shattered. The United Kingdom, like every major economy, was working its way through a difficult recovery period. But here's what's fascinating. While the economy was struggling, the Royal Mint had fully settled into its modern monetary system. They were producing coins with refined techniques, advanced equipment, and sophisticated quality controls. The technology and expertise were at an all-time high. Yet something unexpected happened with the 2010 20 pence pieces. The production numbers for high-quality specimens were remarkably low, and the coins that entered circulation faced a uniquely tough environment. Think about it for a moment. 2010 was right after the global financial crisis. People were worried about money. They were counting every penny, literally. Coins were changing hands rapidly, being used heavily, and experiencing significant wear during a period of economic recovery. Cash was being squeezed through the economy at an intense rate. This means that pristine examples from 2010 became exceptionally hard to find. Most were beaten up by circulation within just a few years. They went through countless transactions, dropped on sidewalks, tossed in drawers, mixed with other coins, and subjected to the kind of wear that destroys collectible value. The economic pressure of the post-crisis years meant that people held onto cash longer and used it more frequently. Coins that might have been set aside in better economic times were pressed into service. Jars of change were emptied and spent. Collections were liquidated for needed cash. The result was that very few 2010 coins survived in the protected, preserved state that collectors prize. Collectors discovered something fascinating about 2010 coins, something that sent ripples through the numismatic community. Those that survived in uncirculated or near-mint condition showed remarkable clarity and definition that seemed almost impossible given the circumstances of their era. The seven-sided edges remained sharp, defying the odds. The Tudor rose retained its full detail, every petal and leaf clearly defined. And the lettering stayed crisp and clear, as if the coin had been struck yesterday rather than over a decade ago. These survivors became instant prizes in the collector market, commanding attention and driving prices upward. The 2010 issue also represents a gap year in many collections. When collectors tried to complete their 20 pence sets, they found that locating a pristine 2010 example was incredibly challenging, sometimes taking months or even years of searching. This scarcity drove prices upward at an accelerating rate. What was once considered just another modern coin suddenly became a sought-after piece. Dealers started getting calls from collectors specifically asking for 2010 examples. Do you have any 2010 20 pence coins in uncirculated condition? Became a common question in coin shops and at shows. The rarity factor intensified when collectors realized something else. The 2010 coins had a distinctive look. There's a certain character to coins produced during this period, a specific finish, a particular way the light catches the surface, a quality that's immediately recognizable to trained eyes. And when you find one in perfect condition, it's breathtaking. As word spread through collector networks, the demand intensified dramatically. Auction houses began featuring high-grade 2010 examples prominently in their catalogs, sometimes giving them featured positions traditionally reserved for older or more historically significant coins. Online marketplaces saw bidding wars that pushed prices far beyond initial estimates. and private collectors started reaching out aggressively to anyone who might have well-preserved specimens from this year. The competition became fierce. Collectors who had been casually building sets suddenly became urgent in their search for 2010 pieces. Investment-minded numismatists recognized the scarcity and began acquiring multiple examples, anticipating future appreciation. And museums and institutions started seeking representative specimens for their modern coinage collections. The value numbers tell the story clearly and compellingly. Pristine, uncirculated 2010 20-pence coins have commanded prices well over $140 in private collector markets. That's not an asking price. That's what they're actually selling for in documented transactions. The combination of low survival rates and high collector demand created a perfect storm for value appreciation. Every factor aligned: scarcity, quality, collector interest, and market momentum. When all these elements come together, prices don't just rise, they soar. Perfect condition examples with professional grading have reached the $200 mark and beyond, making this one of the most profitable modern 20-pence coins to find. When a coin gets graded MS68 or MS69 by a reputable service, you're looking at serious money. Some specimens have even approached $220 in competitive auction environments. And here's what makes the 2010 especially exciting for treasure hunters. It's recent enough that many people still have these coins stored away somewhere. Unlike older issues from the 1980s or 1990s that have had decades to be lost or damaged, 2010 coins might still be sitting in jars, drawers, or old wallets, waiting to be discovered by someone who knows their true worth. Think about it. Where were you in 2010? What were you doing? Did you travel to the United Kingdom? Did you receive British currency as a gift? Did you work for a company with UK operations? Did you collect foreign coins casually? Any of these scenarios could mean you have 2010 20-pence coins in your possession right now. The probability of discovery is real. Every week, someone finds a valuable coin they didn't know they had. Every month, auction houses receive consignments from people who discovered treasures in old belongings. Every year, new collectors enter the market and drive prices higher for the coins they need. The 2010 UK 20-pence represents a unique convergence of historical circumstances, economic pressures, and numismatic scarcity. It's a coin born in crisis, surviving against the odds, and rewarding those who preserved it, whether intentionally or by happy accident. And just when you think the story couldn't get more compelling, when you think we've covered the most exciting years, there's one more year that deserves your attention. A year that combines rarity, demand, and opportunity in a way that makes it perhaps the most exciting of all three coins we're discussing today. A year so recent that most people dismissed it entirely. A year that's creating more buzz in collector circles right now than almost any other modern coin. A year that could represent your best chance of finding real value in your current possessions. Let me introduce you to 2015, the final piece of our treasure trio, and possibly the most underestimated coin of the modern era. The 2015 UK 20-pence represents the newest chapter in this collecting phenomenon, and it's creating waves that are only getting bigger with each passing month. By 2015, the Royal Mint had reached peak efficiency in its production methods. Decades of experience, cutting-edge technology, and refined processes came together to create some of the finest coins in British history. The coins struck this year demonstrate exceptional quality and consistency that would make any mint in the world envious. The striking process was essentially perfect. Computer-controlled presses applied exactly the right amount of pressure. Quality control systems caught and removed any imperfect coins before they entered circulation. The metal alloy was precisely calibrated for optimal durability and appearance. Everything was optimized for excellence. But here's the twist, and this is where it gets really interesting. Despite the excellent production quality, the number of coins that have survived in truly pristine condition remains surprisingly low. Shockingly low, in fact. Why would this be? How could coins produced just a few years ago already be scarce in high-grade condition? The answer reveals a fascinating paradox of modern collecting. Because 2015 coins are so recent, most people never thought to preserve them. They looked at these coins and thought, it's brand new, it's modern, it can't possibly be valuable. So what did they do? They spent them immediately. They used them for everyday transactions without a second thought. These coins went straight into circulation, into vending machines, into parking meters, and through countless transactions. They got tossed into tip jars, thrown into change buckets at car washes, dumped into charity donation boxes, and mixed with other coins in cash registers across the United Kingdom. The assumption was simple and seemingly logical. It's just a modern coin, it can't be valuable. That assumption was dead wrong. And that wrong assumption created an opportunity that's making some people serious money right now. What collectors discovered about 2015 shocked the numismatic community and changed the way many people think about modern coins. The coins from this year, when found in uncirculated condition, display a level of detail and brilliance that makes them stand out immediately from their circulated counterparts. The strike quality is superb, better than almost any previous year because of technological advances. The edges are razor-sharp, meeting at perfect geometric points. The Tudor rose appears with three-dimensional clarity. And the overall preservation of design elements is exceptional, showing what the Royal Mint can achieve when everything works perfectly. When you place a pristine 2015 coin next to even a lightly circulated example, the difference is startling. The uncirculated piece gleams with a luster that seems to glow from within. The details are so sharp you can see individual lines in the rose petals. The lettering is so crisp it looks like it was stamped on moments ago. The 2015 issue became valuable for a unique reason. It's what numismatists call a contemporary rarity. This is a fascinating concept that defies common assumptions about coin collecting. While older coins have the appeal of age and historical significance, 2015 coins have the appeal of being nearly impossible to find in perfect condition despite being less than a decade old. This modern scarcity drives a different kind of collector interest, one focused on completion and perfection rather than age. Collectors pursuing modern sets face a unique challenge. They can easily acquire circulated examples of recent coins, but finding pristine, uncirculated specimens proves surprisingly difficult. The 2015 20 pence became the poster child for this phenomenon. As collectors raced to complete their modern 20 pence sets, the 2015 issue became a critical bottleneck. Everyone assumed these coins would be easy to find. After all, they're recent, right? They're modern. They're still in circulation. How hard could it be? Wrong. Dead wrong. Finding a 2015 20 pence in true uncirculated, pristine condition proved to be remarkably difficult. Most had already been damaged by circulation, even if only slightly. A tiny scratch here, a small contact mark there, a bit of toning from being stored improperly. Any of these defects eliminates a coin from consideration by serious collectors. The reality set in. Contemporary doesn't mean common. Recent doesn't mean available. And modern doesn't mean easy to find in perfect condition. The market responded predictably, but dramatically. Prices began climbing faster than anyone anticipated. What started as a $20 coin in early collector circles quickly became a $50 coin as demand became apparent. Then $80 as scarcity became undeniable. Then higher still as competition intensified. Serious collectors who understood the scarcity began competing aggressively for the best examples. They weren't waiting for prices to come down. They knew prices would only go up. They were buying every quality specimen they could find, both for their own collections and as investments. Dealers started holding back their best 2015 examples, recognizing that prices were trending upward. Auction houses began featuring 2015 coins more prominently, and collector forums buzzed with discussions about where to find uncirculated specimens. The value trajectory for 2015 coins has been nothing short of remarkable. Some would say unprecedented for such a recent issue. Pristine, uncirculated examples are now commanding prices over $150 in private collector markets, and that number keeps rising. The most exceptional specimens, those with perfect strikes, full original luster, and professional grading, have reached $220 and continue climbing as supply dwindles and demand intensifies. When a MS69 graded 2015 20 pence appears at auction, collectors know they're looking at something special, and they bid accordingly. What makes 2015 particularly exciting is the potential for discovery. This is where ordinary people, people like you, have a real advantage over professional collectors and dealers. Unlike coins from 2002 or 2010, which have had more time to be lost, spent, or scattered, 2015 coins are recent enough that they might still be sitting in your possession right now. Not in an antique store. Not in a dealer's inventory. But in your home. That jar of change on your dresser? Check it. That old wallet in the closet from a 2015 UK trip? Look inside. That collection of foreign coins from business travel? Go through it carefully. That drawer where you throw miscellaneous items? Search it thoroughly. Any of these could contain a 2015 20 pence worth serious money. And because they're so recent, you might remember exactly where they came from, which can add to their appeal and verify their provenance. The opportunity is real, it's current, and it's waiting for people who know what to look for. Every day that passes, more 2015 coins get damaged or lost to circulation. Every week, fewer pristine examples remain available. Every month, prices climb higher as scarcity becomes more apparent. The 2015 UK 20 pence is proving that age isn't everything in coin collecting. Sometimes rarity is about preservation. Sometimes value is about quality. And sometimes the best opportunities are hiding in plain sight, dismissed by people who think modern means worthless. Those people are wrong, and their mistake is your opportunity. Don't let these treasures slip through your fingers. Don't be the person who spent a $200 coin on a cup of coffee. Don't be the person who threw away a fortune because they didn't take 10 minutes to search their home. Start searching today. Your fortune might already be in your hands. You just need to look for it. Until next time, keep hunting for treasure, keep learning about coins, and keep believing that extraordinary value can hide in ordinary places. Good luck, happy hunting, and I'll see you in the next video.